Welcome to this 10th interview in the series so far, and in this one we interview another of Yanis's customers, a chap called Naif, who is a management consultant based out of Saudi Arabia. As you listen in and take down the four forces here, think back to Niky's interview and see if you can see any comparisons of why somebody has joined this course. Because I think this is a fantastic example of why personas are abysmal. Because if we had a persona, and we've got Niky, a 50-year-old married lady in the UK whose kids have just gone to university, and we've got Naif, mid-20s management consultant in Saudi Arabia, you probably could not get more different if you tried. Yet, I believe they're buying the course from Yanis for very similar reasons.
Yanis has mentioned that we're doing here, but what it is some very, very early stage research, and I'm particularly interested in the language Yanis's students use to describe the process they've gone through from first thinking they might need some training through maybe researching courses or looking at his offer, signing up, and then using the product itself. So the good news is this is your story in your own words. So you can't get anything wrong. There's no trick questions, nothing like that. It's literally just whatever you remember. The bad news is that if you use a certain phrase, apologize up front. I probably will interrupt, and it's not because I want to be rude. It's just if you say something, I've got to make sure I understand what it means to you rather than maybe how I use it. So sorry there. And you can kind of imagine this is like a Netflix documentary type series of me recording all of his customers, and this is your episode, so I might ask some weird questions, like I'm following around with a camcorder shooting the scene, who's there, what's going on, but that's just because I find it helps jog people's memory. So I guess with that in mind, maybe could you just give me a bit of an introduction? Who are you? What do you do? Like what's going on in your life around the time that you signed up for Yanis's course?
Okay. Well, thank you for the introduction and all the clarifications. So I am a consultant. Career-wise, my profession is in consulting, management consulting, and I'm in the early stage of my career. I am from Saudi Arabia. I am located in Riyadh. And here in Riyadh, the type of management consulting we do is for corporate level transformation, project management, integration and separation of entities and business entities, business units. This is the kind of work that we do. The actual the day-to-day activities is basically project management or PMO, and this is a very common way to describe it. So by the time so my experience is not totally linked to my career, but I think this is the closest in profile that I can put there for
Got
this.
it.
Okay.
So you're just make sure you're based out of Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. You're a consultant, a management consultant in your early stages of your career. What does that mean? Are you like 1 year in? 5 years in?
2 years. 2 years. So entry level. Well, the entry level is usually 2 to 3 years. I am by the time I joined. I mean, still now I'm still within the 2 years to 3 years period, which is entry level. And that is usually the early stage in career in this field, especially.
Okay, that's awesome. And so Yanis's course itself, when did you join? When did you buy it?
It was around December 2024 or January 2025. Yeah, so it was early this year.
Okay. So earlier on this year, and I know he sells a few different.
Yeah.
So sorry, I know he sells a few different things. In your own words, what did you buy? Like what did it cost? What were the features? Like what did you purchase?
So I joined his what the course he calls it explain explaining ideas visually, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
That was the course, the online course. He put his recorded videos where he introduces the thinking process, and where we get inspired from, and his ways of getting ideas, and then how, like, putting ideas on paper, refining them, and then visualizing them with the hands-on hands-on exercises. He
Okay.
also provides some elements for us to use quickly, and he also goes over the tools that we can use, different apps, using computer, using iPad, like that.
Okay.
And this is what I purchased. The way I reached to the way, I purchased this. The trigger was, I think, is interesting. I find it interesting. Experience. I also shared it with Yanis before, when I first joined him. I told him, like, by the way, this is how I got to your course. So I knew him. I By the time I purchased the course, I joined his course and his community. I have known him on social media, for about a year,
Okay.
through Instagram and LinkedIn, because I keep seeing his content, even being reshared, and I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed his ideas, the way he's putting them and everything, but I was only, consuming the content. And then one time I came across the link he shared about for the wallpaper. So he was sharing like a free link, like a link that gives us access to a free wallpaper that I can use on my phone, my iPad, and he is putting his visuals in that frame to be used in iPads, and I liked it a lot. I loved it. I picked some of them, and then I kept them there. And then the advertisement or the promotion for his course popped up after I used that link. I wasn't interested in joining the course back then, but it was there. But I saved the link for the wallpaper because I wanted to go again and check if he posted anything new there, because I want to, whenever I want to change my wallpaper or something. After
Okay.
like that, a few months later, there was a switch in my job, in the project I'm working on. I have more time now, more personal time. And because I enjoy working on PowerPoint slides at work. This is one of my strengths. I have very great sense of visualization and design and using the um, PowerPoint. I enjoy it. I'm good at it. So when I had more time, I said, why don't we practice something similar to this, where I visualize, Um,
Yeah.
and then I also wanted a method to express my thoughts and my ideas in social media. So I wanted to be more active on LinkedIn. I wanted to share more of the concepts that I like. So there's some concepts or ideas that I come across in around the topics of AI, topics of innovation, customer experience. These are the topics that I care about the most,
Okay.
out of interest only. Okay, they're
Okay.
not linked to my career. And then I wanted something that actually allows me to, you know, reshare things that I have explored, and also gives me the space, and time that I enjoy, which is about visualizing and doing some, putting ideas and putting concepts and messages in a visual way. I
Awesome.
remember the
Great.
link that I have for the wallpaper. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry, Naif. No, you excellent. You've given me so much to work on. So you've joined the Explain Ideas Visually course, which is the video course.
Yeah.
Did you sign up? But like, can you remember how much you spent on it?
No, not really. I remember it's in. Now that you ask me, I remember it's around 700 riyals. So because in
Okay.
our currency is the Saudi riyal. Yeah, this is
Okay.
this is when you ask me, like, I mean, it could be something around that, but I'm not very sure.
What would that be roughly in US dollars?
It will be
I can look it up, but
yeah, I'm not good with math. I'm not quick. Yeah, it would be like around, I think, $200 to $300, or something around that. Between
yeah,
200,
okay.
300. Yeah.
Yeah, yep, okay, cool. So it's about $200. So this is well, actually, before I carry on, is that a lot of money?
Well, for me, like, to be honest, it's not a course that would give you a certificate. It's not a professional course. It could be considered a lot, but because of my nature spending, my nature. But if I'm chatting with someone, like a friend or a relative, I wouldn't be very transparent about it. I would say, yeah, it's like I would make it sound a lot cheaper, because I feel
Okay,
that I'm being judged if I spend that much money on such a course. But because of my nature of spending, and because I like what I'd like the experience, I don't think it's a lot.
okay. So if I'm hearing you right, it's, because it doesn't come with a professional certification, it's not for your work. It could be perceived as expensive by others, but because you like it and you're happy, you don't mind paying that much. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Now you mentioned that you signed up sort of December, January 2025, and that maybe a year or so earlier you'd seen all of these images and things like that. Can you remember when was it that you had the first thought that, I don't know whether it was that you wanted to join a course on this, or that you wanted to learn this stuff? Like, because obviously there's one point in your life you're just consuming it, you're adding it as your wallpaper, you're happy to have it, and now at some point you've joined a course to be able to create them yourself. So when did you first think, hey, maybe I need to learn how to do this?
I mean, it's I'm not sure, but I know the flow of my. So what happened is was in a burnout stage in my career, to be honest, and in December, and then after that, I asked to be switched, removed. I asked to move to another project where the workload is lower, and then I have my more personal time. I wanted a more um, life work balance. I'm just telling you that because I'm trying to follow the path in my head.
Yep.
Okay, and then I was there having enough time, nice time, and I'm exploring new topics, and I like them, and then said, and I would like to create more, because I know I am more of a creative person. I like creation and the creativity, and so I wanted to embrace the creativity in my personal time. But I'm not very artistic, so I said something. I was thinking this way. I need something. So I was very self-aware and self-conscious. I was thinking about this, saying, I want something that is, creative, enables creativity, but at the same time, it's not too artistic. I want something also has, some purpose in it and some communication in it. And then, yeah, I just remembered. I remember this guy. The thing that this guy does is actually might be exactly what I want to do. Yeah.
So here you're right. Obviously, management consulting. This is quite an intensive, time-heavy career. So you're getting burnt out in that. You've asked to be moved to another project where you've got a bit more work-life balance, and it seems like at the same time you're looking to explore new ideas.
Yeah, like new activities.
New activities at work, or new activities outside of work? Like
no, outside of work. Outside of work. Okay. But my aim was, I don't want to go doing art where it has zero, where I can, where it is, it's like a totally isolated path, like a personal thing to do and personal activity. I wanted something that, I liked about this is that the type of the material that he's doing is something that gives me the right level of creativity that I seek, At the same time, it has a purpose in it, so it's easy to shape. Why? Because I can define the purpose. I'm communicating something, and I can define that thing is. I'm communicating some concepts, ideas, or advices on the topic that I'm pursuing, focusing on is AI, productivity, and using AI tools. This is this is the what I'm doing, and how I'm doing it is through his guidance, his method of communicating, and then I had my own style after that.
Okay. Now this is
Yeah.
interesting because I think you said earlier on, you like the work that you were doing in PowerPoint. You've got this strong design skill, but then on the flip side of that, you're saying I'm not very artistic. So how does that?
And let me tell you something. Why? Because I am a perfectionist. Okay. As a perfectionist, if I'm going to pursue art, the pure art, that would be a nightmare for me, because what would happen is that I would be fixated on perfecting a piece of art. The first drawing I'm doing, it would cost me like weeks, because I'm trying to make it perfect, even though I don't have the level of, I don't have the skills for this level of art, and then I'm not enjoying it anymore because I'm stressed about perfecting it. And I rank high. I rank higher in the perfectionism. But if I'm doing slides for work now, I know what I'm doing, and I know what is the the requirement, and where it is perfect. It is easy to reach perfection there, because I know my client wants to see this, and he wanted to see it in this quality, and also I need to make it pretty, because I like to, whatever I do, I need to make it really nice and look nice. So the tick marks are easy to see, and so this is why I want something creative. Also design. I don't mind having it being a design heavy, but also it has a purpose, and it has a shape, it has an aim. It's not like an art. I see art as like an open space, or if you do an art project, it is very difficult to actually put your finger on what you are actually doing. You either enjoy, yeah. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I think so. If I'm hearing you right, it's not that you're bad at art. It's that this perfectionism means that if you took up art, you'd keep working and working and working until you stopped enjoying it. Whereas it sounds like a design for a PowerPoint, and potentially the type of visual ideas, has some sort of defined endpoint, and therefore you can perfect it to that level and stop. Is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and then this gives me the experience that I want. It is also what I'm enjoying, what I'm seeking is some experience where I take my iPad, I sketch on my iPad the slides I'm gonna make, I align it, and then I go do it. I enjoy this a lot, and then doing the same for something else is nice, without having it to be an art project where it says open ended.
So when you say the experience on the iPad, you're enjoying it. What is it that you're enjoying?
Capturing. So the first trigger for something is a message that you need to visualize. So if I'm talking about my experience at work, they say, well, we need to present this message or this topic to our let's say the CEO, and then it needs to be, it has this level of details. It needs to have either numbers or more visual elements, and then but they don't have the details. They don't, like clients or managers don't tell you what they want, but they tell you the message. So I take the message on my iPad, I draw how it potentially would look like. I have limited space to work on, because the slide has limited space, and then I have limited level of details that I can go. It can't be too detailed or very high level. I need to understand the level of details, and then I sketch based on these constraints.
Okay.
And try, and this is what I enjoy, and then doing it with the activities that I learned doing with Yanis was exactly the same. I have a message, I put the message on my iPad in the notes, and then later I go, what visuals and how would this look like? How can I communicate this through a visual? And then I keep showing him what I do, and he'd give me his feedback. He's saying, yeah, well, this is a better idea than this one. Yeah.
Okay. So the experience on the iPad, like I'm still trying to get it. There's kind of, it seems like there's some constraints around what you're trying to achieve.
It's conceptualizing. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what part of this are you enjoying? Are you enjoying coming up with the idea? Are you enjoying sort of putting pen to paper? Like what's giving you the enjoyment?
The experimentation that I'm experimenting. It's like solving, when some people like solving math problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, to me, it feels like a problem that I need to solve. There is a message. If I'm gonna talk about it freely, it will be a lot of talking or a lot of text. But if I have limited space, limited attention span for my audience, I need to put it in a concise way without compromising too much on the meaning. This is a problem. There is a constraint to it, and then I need to solve it through visualization.
Cool. So basically, it's like this creative process is really a problem-solving process in your mind, and and that's what's giving you the sort of enjoyment from it. It's that, I've got some constraints. I've got all this, could be all this text, but I can't give them all this text. Limited attention span and limited space. Solve that into a visual, and that's something you like.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. So okay, so that was last year. So you've made that switch, and obviously you saw the course beforehand but didn't join.
Yeah.
At what point, like having switched jobs, when did you think I'll get a course on this, or like how do I move from suddenly I've got free time,
and then I was what to do with it. How now I have more time, and then I want to do something. What can I do? And then I was on pen and paper and planning my life out and saying that okay, I want to be more active on I want to be more. I have more visibility, more on my network, LinkedIn specifically. Why? Because I want to be more connected to people. Okay, there's one. Two, I want to do something really I really enjoy. I know I joined this at work. Let's expand on it here. So if I said to myself, I want to do something that I enjoy. I want to embrace this element, but at the same time, I want it to be useful and purposeful, because if it doesn't have a purpose, and it's not useful, then it would be like any other hobby that I would start and then let go of. But yeah, so I wanted to have a purpose in it. At the same time, I was connecting what like objective with hobbies and things that I enjoy.
Yeah, okay. These are really great words. You wanted something useful and something purposeful. Can you give me an example of like something that's useless or purposeless? Like, what's the contrast compared?
Well, if I do, for example, if I do some, let's say, art project or art activities, when I do, for example, I've tried before sketching and doing, like with a pencil, doing like drawing with a pencil. I had an attempt. It was what I've seen. I am not too bad with the drawing with a pencil. It was really nice for a second drawing. It was really nice, but then every time I look at it, it's I don't like. Every time I look at it, I just see what is lacking, and I see that I'm not good enough to do it. And then even if it's perfect, even if it's good, like it's good and perfect, then uh, uh, what? So every time I look at it, if I go back like 2 years back, and I look at it again, and I see an old project that I would have done it differently. But if it's something that I did it for a purpose, for example, a slide or a visual that I'm posting on social media, it is the purpose of it is to communicate a certain message. I would say, okay, doesn't look perfect. I see it is lacking this. It could be done better, but then it is there for a purpose, and it is fulfilling the purpose. Though I have the sense of achievement this way, or the sense of accomplishment. So yeah, I'm doing it for a purpose, and it's accomplished. Even if I see some, even if I don't think it looks perfect, as
Yeah.
long as
Okay.
it's social, yeah.
So I think I'm getting it's kind of tied back to this perfectionism piece that I could have taken up another hobby, maybe still art, still like
Mm,
drawing or whatever, but then I keep coming back to it and refining it
mm,
because it can always be improved.
mm,
Whereas if
exactly.
I'm creating a visual, I get to use the creative side of me, and it's good enough once somebody else understands the message.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You mentioned a few pieces here. So you wanted to start being more active on LinkedIn specifically and being connected to people. What?
Yeah.
When did that start?
Um, it started when I decided to quit Instagram because you know
And when was?
uh, yeah, well, yeah, well, like I didn't use I didn't use Snapchat a lot in the past. I used to use it, check the news on it, but I find it consuming. Like, the algorithms on Snapchat and Instagram are, like crazy. They can't be trusted, and it is what do they call it? exhausting exhausting my mind. I enjoy it a lot. I really enjoy Instagram. I like the content there, and it gives me the things that I like a lot. But I didn't want to be on social media anymore because I see the dopamine link, and how I react to it. I wanted a healthier alternative. LinkedIn, it's not, it's not designed in a healthy way, but it has some inefficiencies, okay, that made it actually healthier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
So
I'm exhausted by Instagram and Snapchat and things like that. Whereas I still. So why not just quit all social media? Why go? Why go to LinkedIn at all?
yeah, I need something, like I need an alternative, because in this world, and like, let's say, before social media, before internet, you'd actually meet your neighbors and greet them, and then you meet friends on more frequently. Now, if I quit social media at all, there is no alternative. The world is not like the world is designed now, and it's built on people having social media, and they're not ready to interact as much as before, because big part of the interaction that they need, they're doing on social media. So if I quit
Okay.
it, there was a bigger gap, like a big gap. That's why I moved to the alternative of LinkedIn. It gives me exposure to what goes around. The topics in it are not very attractive. It's not that I love it, no, but it is not too boring, not too attractive. uh,
Okay. So
yeah, so
it's not like you love it, but that's actually part of the benefit because
exactly.
you're using it a bit less.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think you mentioned, so obviously some part of this was that you wanted more visibility.
Yeah, I also
So
wanted to. I
to who?
I was looking for. So basically, my thinking was, my idea, and I still, even though like things now have changed, I have like a priority have changed, like for like in the time being, but back then my thinking was, whatever I am, whatever I'm carrying in as an interest, or skills, okay, or achievement, I want that to be reflected and visible, like to my colleagues, to my network, because I have a lot of friends on LinkedIn. Of course, there's many people that we don't know, but there's a lot of people that I know, and I also wanted the potential of actually connecting to new people who have the same interests that I do have. So now I remember that you have asked me. So I remember that I was connecting to people that I find interesting. They're working either in let's say, human behavior, or behavior science. They're working on customer experience, or innovation, business innovation. So I find these people are interesting. I like what they do. I'm interested in the way they do, and then I look forward to see what they share. But when I connect to them, it looks like that I'm coming from nowhere, or like it's totally irrelevant. So I wanted to be more relevant on social media. Yeah, because now if you look at LinkedIn, it's used for career like profiles and stuff. That's why it shows your job, it shows your company, and that when I looked at my profile there, it lacks a lot of relevance to the people that I'm seeking.
Okay, relevance. So if I'm trying to understand that, is this, let's say you see Yanis, for example, and you think I'd like to connect with him.
Yeah.
You're worried that if he looks at your profile, he's going to think, I don't want to connect with that person. And so you want to improve your profile to get more of a chance of connecting, or have I missed that entirely?
And not connecting like in the sense of actually accepting my invite. More is just to say that to show that hey, you are in this location, I am in this location, you are doing this thing as your job or as an interest, side hustle, or like I'm also interested in that as well. That way I am able to interact with him. Let's say he posts something, I interact with him. It doesn't look, I'm coming out of nowhere. I now I have someone who actually recognized my profile and knows the areas that I'm interested in, and that can justify my interactions with him, and that would actually I think enhance the way I'm interacting with people, and the way I'm positioned even in the network itself.
And what's kind of the end goal of that then? Is it just so that I feel like I belong at this table, or is it
No,
that I can get another job? Like what do we do?
You're right. Actually, of course, like the biggest benefit from your network, like from the network, the biggest benefit is actually having more opportunities. Like for example, if I say a job opportunity, let's say let's like even if it's some participation in some activities, some events, that would come from your network. So it's not, I'm not looking for friendships there. I'm looking for opportunities to interact with the community. So I'm interested in the innovation community in here in my location, and this community. That means that potentially I could find the job that I like. Okay, more than this. So I'm doing PMO here. I like it. I like it to some degree. I'm good at it, but well, I have some interest. Can I find a job that would provide me my, that would provide me passion and performance, where I can perform well, but I also enjoy? That's my dream, actually. That would be the best scenario that would happen to that. Another opportunity that I would get from enhancing my network is actually being in the right community, which means that I would have, on my personal time, I would be able to participate in the activities and in events that I enjoy. And this happened. I joined the Saudi Innovation Club. In this community, we do site visits, and we do some, we get some hosts where they talk about industry or industry experts, stuff like that. So this was one of the things, like activities and events.
Okay, that's cool. So this is kind of a social piece then. So if I can create some content to put out on LinkedIn, then it will justify my place in this community, which will allow me to get out there and do more things I enjoy with people I like, and like-minded people.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I didn't put this in front, like directly, is because initially it was like my driver was also that I wanted to do something I enjoy, but it was having these two pieces in my head, and then I connected them, saying, yeah, this is amazing, because I would be doing something that I really enjoy. So even if I don't achieve my goal in my network, I would have already spent a lot of time doing something that I enjoy.
Okay, so the end goal is to build this network and to get more opportunities to both, do things I'm passionate about and things that I'm good at performing in. But if I'm creating stuff, I enjoy it anyway. So therefore, I can't lose.
Exactly.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. Just looking here. So December, I think you said it was that you moved to another project, and around January you've joined up. So what's happened between December and January? Like how did you go and sign up to Yanis's course? Maybe this is my Netflix moment. Like, are you at work when you sign up? Are you at home? Like,
I know. Probably at home. I don't remember exactly, but because I know I'm accessing this stuff from my iPad. I use my iPad at work, but I wouldn't be scrolling like doing like browsing that at work. Probably at home, because I plan and think about my life a lot in my like at home in the coffee shop. I would have been I could have been in the coffee shop or at home sketching and said yes, let's see. I remember, let's see how much it is. And I opened it through that link, and then I saw how much is it, and then I closed it, and then I thought about it like 1 week later. When I decided, like, yeah, I will pay that anyways. You know what, trying to make thinking, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And then comparing where would I have spent this money if I didn't spend it in this course? And then it takes me about a week.
Yeah, where would you have spent the money if you didn't spend it on the course?
Look, this is the thing. Like, I'm not. So this is what I told myself. Listen, I'm not doing anything fun. I'm not really, investing this money anywhere. I would, by the end of the month, I would ask myself, where did it go? So before it goes to somewhere that somewhere that I would regret or don't even remember, let's spend it on this. So I don't really spend a lot. I don't like buy clothes a lot. It's probably something, one of like some utilities or some food and beverage.
Okay.
Hanging out, yeah, something like that probably.
It's not
Or
like
in
you've
the
got
saving.
yeah, it's not like you've got a dedicated budget you've taken it from. It's more, if I spend this now, I'd get something fun and something useful, and it stops me wasting it on something I might regret instead.
Yeah, exactly. It would be, yeah, I would have, like, I would put it on the savings, and then one time I would do a big purchase. Like 2 months later, I would book a flight, and then like also book a hotel or something to like for a quick trip, 2 days trip, and it would be part of that. Would be part of that spending.
Okay.
So it'd be like in the saving and be like spend as a big amount for some a big purchase. So this is what I do. Like, I save and then I purchase a course. I save and then purchase another course or some other item. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. You said that when you first sat down and looked at it, you sat down and thought, oh, you knew about it. Let me go and have a look and see how much it is. But then you didn't buy on the very first visit. Why not?
I was afraid. I was very first. I was afraid it's not worth it. I went there and I read how he's describing it. What am I getting here? Will it be a live session with this creator, and then he will be telling me he will be telling me what to do, or it will be recorded, or it will be some hands-on exercises, live. I wanted to know what it is, and then see the biggest risk. The amount is, what I see, the amount is not that big. It's not that expensive, but well, the problem is if I spend this money and then turns out that it is much less than what expected.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
more, will I be disappointed by
it? Sorry, again?
Is it more you sort of looking and thinking, if I spend that, it's not a lot of money, but I don't want to buy it and regret it?
Yeah, I don't want to buy and regret it. Like some people, how people advertise and market their courses, and then when I join, it is much less than what I expected, or it's not ideal. Maybe something that I don't know how it should run, but they're not running it in an effective way. This is the risk, because it will leave me feeling bad. If I pay a lot of money and then I join it and then I like it, even though I still think it's expensive, at the end of the day, I enjoyed it, I learned from it, and it gave me the value that I was looking for, even if it is expensive. But if it's expensive, or even if averagely priced, but then I'm not getting what I'm seeking, then that's a problem.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So At the time, you bounced off of this because you're thinking, what am I getting? Is it going to be worth it? You know, is it live sessions or is it recording? Am I going to get to talk to the instructor? What changed in a week that brought you back? Like, how did you overcome those things to make the decision?
But this is a natural this is my natural process. I don't buy things on the first time. Sometimes it takes me a month just thinking about a purchase. Yes, it's very normal. It's just me to set my reasoning in. I keep flipping it in my head. I initially make decisions like I will do it, I will buy it, but let's not purchase it now. Let's wait. I will do it later, like in the upcoming days. And then when the days comes, I have it in my mind, and then it's been 7 days already, and nothing seems to be wrong with it, and I don't have any thoughts, conflicting about it. It seems like it's a good deal, and from what I've seen, it looks like it is a nice experience and it's a nice course. So it's just that giving myself time to think about it, just in case something comes up.
And you know, with that, like, it seems like you've gone off the page thinking, is it worth it? And then you've kind of just let it sit in your head. You haven't gone off looking for more information to answer those questions.
I recall I went only once.
Okay.
I read it only once, and like I explored the whole site. I read almost everything there, and then my decision. Yeah, sounds good. This addresses all my concerns. Like all my concerns.
In terms of things like a live session versus a recording, what were you expecting when you signed up?
Like at first, I expected. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the way it was phrased or just my assumptions. It's because when you say a course and training, it comes to my mind a live training and a live session with a group where you do cohorts. But then I remember being kind of surprised seeing that the whole course is recorded. It's not. I wasn't sure if it's good or bad. I wasn't sure if it's good or bad, but I remember that I remember myself starting, and I said, like, please let this be good, like let this recording be good and effective and nice. I was afraid that okay, I'll go through all these recordings and they are not that good.
Okay, so it sounds like you signed up and you were expecting live. You didn't get live, but what were these recordings good enough?
Yeah, they were, but then the value placement, the value allocation switched in my head. I understood later, wait, these recordings sounds like after I finish them, they feel like the prerequisite for the actual, like the actual product, the actual service. The actual service was the feedback sessions Yenis is doing. That was the most valuable one. In my like this is something that I understood after I finished. So in the beginning I was saying, yeah, this I was, because usually the courses, what they do, the online courses, they give you, let's say, a weekly session that is live, and then the rest is recorded, which is the balance in between. So people who like live, they get live, but also it is a low resource, having recordings. So I did the recordings, okay, and then as I was going through them, they were not. I didn't find something that is really impressive or something that's good. And then as I said, like, let's progress and see how it like turns out. And as I progress, every in between like a video to another, I find like an interesting information. And then I understand the process he's doing. I said, yeah, this is nice. This is nice. I know and understand how he's doing these things and then understand this process. I like the exposure and I like the visibility of how he's creating these visuals. I enjoyed that, but at that point, I didn't feel it was worth the money I paid. The recording themselves. I finished, and then he was also talking about the tools that you should use, and then I was already familiar with the tool he's using, which is Figma. This is the tool that Eunice used for his visuals, and I was already familiar with it because I was practicing wireframes and user interface. This one of my interests that I like to do. So I was happy that I am already ready to be up to speed with this because I already knew the tool that he's using and I know what he's doing. By the end of the videos recording, yeah, it is nice, but when you don't know what's the trick of the magician, and then when he tells you the trick, it is less interesting now because you know the trick. It felt something like that. But then I started doing, practicing and doing stuff and posting them for his feedback, and then he was giving me feedback on them, and that was the most valuable thing, the most valuable experience. I enjoyed a lot, where I had to, like, when I was waiting very excitingly for Yenis to share the link for his feedback session. And then what he does is he opens all our postings, and he goes one by one and tells us a feedback. He says, like, okay, like, what you did is nice, but I don't get your message, I don't get your idea. And then that was very, very, very valuable for me because now I'm getting, I know I'm understanding how my thinking and my communication that I think and I feel it's clear is totally not clear to him, and I start seeing the gaps between me and the audience.
Okay.
And that, yeah, that was the feedback. The feedback was the feedback he's giving was very, like, fun, exciting, very helpful. Also for understanding my mind and my thinking. So, like, listen, I thought about this way, but the way he's responding to it is totally strange and totally different than what I expected. That means I need to correct my assumptions. So that was the feedback session. Yeah, it was the nice thing.
And so basically, it sounds like if it weren't for that, you'd have thought, oh, I didn't really get my value from the course. I've learned some stuff. But then suddenly, when you're creating and getting feedback, you've gone from, this is okay, to excitedly waiting to get a feedback. Did you know you were going to get feedback? Like, how did you find out you were getting feedback in the first place?
No, I didn't really. I saw the place for feedback. There is a chat for dedicated for feedback, but then I didn't know how it worked exactly. I remember posting in his chat because he told me how he told me, like, let me see it when you're done. I can give you feedback on the concept, and this is fine. And then I went to, so there was a chat with, like, a private chat with Yenis. And he clarified that to me. And then I think on a video of his recording, he had also explained that there is a feedback area here. But I thought it's like a side, like a byproduct where if you want, you can use it. Like, when you want it, you can use it. And then in some scenarios, I would have skipped and just, I skipped and just moved on, thinking that there's just an extra thing that you if you want, you can use. And then I went, but what happened is that I shared my visuals in his chat, the private chat, and he said, yeah, please share it in the in the group chat for feedback. Okay, so okay, same, fine. And then I shared it there, and then I waited, and I didn't know how he would be responding. And then he shared by the end of the week, he shared the link for the feedback, and then I understood. And then after experiencing, the iterations and the feedback sessions, I said, man, this is more valuable than the recording there, and this should be highlighted as the center of the core, the core experience and the core service that he's providing.
Yeah, okay, that's awesome. Thank you. So I'm just making sure, because we're coming up towards the end of the time here, I'm following this along. So if I'm getting you right, this is kind of when I've got more time in my job, when I've seen visuals that I like, when I enjoy being creative, but I maybe don't want to go into the artistic route. And when I'm sort of trying to expand my network, it seems is a big kind of push for this. And then it's a bit sort of so I can express my thoughts on social media, so I can share more. what else have we got here? So it's enjoying some of this, I think, is it? So I can.
Yeah.
The experience, the enjoyment of doing it. It sounds like this is it's.
Content creation. So I think it's more of content creation that I was interested in. I wanted to create content and share it. So, you know how people create do like create videos on YouTube on topics that they care about. Yeah, something similar to that.
Okay. About what I care about. The content creation thing. Why was that so important? What was it about creating that you wanted to achieve?
Well, I wanted. So I have my job. Okay. I wanted some hobby to do. Like I want to do some hobby. Okay, but at the same time, I want something like I want to do some hobby, and then it just lined up. It lined up to me that, well, I enjoy this, and I would really enjoy. I mean, this doesn't work if I don't share it on media. And then at the same time, I wanted to expand my network and get more engaged with the social, or engage socially on LinkedIn. So it lined up that I have a hobby now. That and then at the same time, I'm not doing something useless or something that I would feel guilty about. Because beside this, what I do in my personal time is gaming. I like video games. You see, so if you compare these two together, if I game, I enjoy it a lot. I have fun, but I feel that I wasted my time. This way, I feel like it's even healthy for my marketing mentality.
Okay, they're healthy for your mentality.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said it's healthy for your mentality. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Like I mean, so I'm comparing this to playing the video games. If it can, it gives me the enjoyment, I want, but at the same time, it is a healthy exercise to be indulging in creativity and doing the visuals and stuff. That is actually very helpful for my mindset.
Maybe you explain that. So like, no, I'm just interested. So if I go and play a video game, I enjoy it. If I go and create a visual, I enjoy it. But if I create the visual, my mindset's improved. Versus if I play the video game, my mindset hasn't improved.
No, actually, well, and when I play video game, there's a degree of where 1 degree in enjoyment and in focus, where if I exceed, it will be actually a dopamine hook, okay, and then I'll be hooked on this game, and it is I just feel this, and I struggle with it, where I cannot detach from this game, and then I go to bed, and what I'm dreaming about the shooting that I'm doing in the game.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it's the same what happens with Instagram when I'm scrolling all the time. I'm enjoying it. It's fun, but then it is actually corrupting my it's just a pollution in my head. But if I do this, actually no, because I'm engaging my mind in creating, not consuming. So I wanted to do something that is creating, not consuming. Video games is just consumption, the same as the social media platforms.
Okay, no, that's really good. So it's something I can go and enjoy. It has practical use, but also whilst I'm doing it, I'm creating something, and this is making me like clearing my mind versus corrupting my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. But that's really awesome. I think you've shared quite a lot here. I've had some probably very stupid questions here. Naif, what would a smart man like yourself say? Well, what have I missed on your story that's important to know?
Well, I'm not sure. I think you were keen to bring all the important points, but I don't think it was. I think I've shared. I don't know. I usually talk a lot, but I can't analyze
No, it's good.
Everything. Yeah, I think, yeah.
I've just thought one thing. So you mentioned that you really like the feedback sessions from Yanis, but you didn't really know about them when you joined. He does have a higher priced course offering, I think, where he personally teaches or does something. Was that offer available when you signed up, or is that?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. It could have been, but I would for the cheaper one, because I would have done that. If it was there, I would have done that. So like it would possibly been there, because I am. So I see some other people that what they're doing this, they're taking the course for a career or income based activity. So they're doing it to boost their income. That's understandable. In my case, no, I'm not. I don't. It's not related to my income. Second of all, I am not bad with visuals, so I was already familiar with conceptualization. So at work, I do a lot of drawing and think about how to visualize stuff. It's a PowerPoint heavy and communication heavy job. So I was already, not a beginner. And then for the tool that I'm using, which is the Figma, I was already familiar with it and I know how to play around with it. So yeah, I just needed the cheaper option.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Look, thank you very, very much for sharing your story. I've greatly appreciated that. Do you recommend this to other people, or is this just something that you do?
The activity and the
course.
The course. Definitely. If I know someone that would enjoy it and excel at it, I would for sure recommend it. However, I haven't. I think it's niche. I believe it's niche. I don't see many people that could enjoy it or do it.
Has it
still,
like posting these things, does that help build your community that you wanted to build, or have you not used it?
Yeah. Well, I did use it. It actually gave me a lot of like a lot of engagement. I've seen now. I've seen my network expanded on the area that I'm interested in. So I see the mix of connections that I have changed since I started posting. You see, so initially I had a lot of people from consulting because we are all in management consulting. So, and people from Saudi and people from finance, because the algorithms are trying to connect you to people that are relevant. So when I started posting this way, I became more relevant to the group of people that I care about, and the mix of connection has changed for me, and I like that. But after that, I currently I have paused on that. It's been like a month or two since I stopped working on visualization. I stopped this activity due to my like a switch of focus in my personal life. Nothing related to this. I'm not focused about my network anymore. I'm not focused on social media anymore. So I paused in it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Look, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I see we've overrun the time. Sure. I really appreciate you taking your time out of today to share this with me. I'll let Yanis know, and wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. Actually, I was excited for it. So I really appreciate it. It was very nice to do. I look forward to to see the outcomes of your study.
Yeah, we're going to post it. Hopefully, it's okay with you. We share this because this is all part of a big project with Yanis that we're going to go and run, and so it'll all be online. So we'll put it out there to so you can learn from it hopefully as well. So.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Perfect. Nice one. Thanks. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so that's an interesting one. I did start off with, I was thinking, I'm wondering whether this is a slightly different story to one that we've heard before, and I think it is. But it also has parallels with Niky's story, which might sound very strange. But bear me out. But bear with me here. So this is triggered by a change in my career. So I'm burnt out in my existing career. I'm making a switch. And so now I have suddenly time on my hands where I can do this. It is doing something that is good for my mental health. So whatever else I'm doing is draining me, or it's not draining, but I think he said it was like poisoning his mind or something like that. I'll have to go and get the exact words. But there's this experience of gaming, and then it like drags me in, or using Instagram. This is dopamine hit, Whereas actually, if I'm going and creating something, it's useful. There's multiple layers of value to this. So if it was just learning to be an artist, well, that would be useless. I'm not going to use that. No way. But actually, I'm going to learn a skill so that I can put things out there, and so that I can kind of improve and build out my network. The network piece I think is interesting because we looked before that Niky wanted to do this with her husband. I think Kieran wanted to do this with his daughter. In this case, it's not about performing the activity in a network space. It's about creating my network. It's a key for me to get into the world and do this. So I don't know. Maybe this is on its own. Maybe this is something else. I need to go off and map out the 4 forces now, and obviously we'll see when this clusters together. But it's a different story. As he's the first person I think we've had who actually has good design skills. He's confident with his design. He knows the tools. He knows how to use this stuff. He just needs help with the sort of ability to put it into a way that is easy for him to post out on LinkedIn. So interesting one. I'm going to go and sleep on that one, I think, because it's 10:05 at night here. And then I'll map this out and I'll share whatever I think I've learned from that with you later on tomorrow. So cheers.
So there you have it. That's my opinion on this. I think that Niky and Naif are reasonably close together in this one. There's definitely a mental health component. There's a let me do something that is creative, that allows me to do this as a hobby, but I can also use it for work. There's a social aspect of this, trying to communicate and connect with people. So, this is an example here, as I said at the start, where personas really are terrible. If we had Naif and we had Niky in the same persona bucket, we would think that we had rocks in our head. And yet if we look at the context somebody's in, the forces acting upon them and the outcome that they want, we find out that actually they buy for very similar reasons and they buy pretty much the same thing. Even though for Naif this is disposable income money, whereas Niky, I think it was a bit more of a struggle. At the same time, they're both joining the same course and I think they've both got pretty similar reasons for doing it. What do you think?